Tizuma, we've seen birdies. It's breakfast time. It's meds and a glass of squash and coffee in my shining mug with almond milk. That is my pretty much regular breakfast. And that is some cream from where we put a bit of cream down for Azmi and she's licked it up. Lovely. Right, hello and welcome to LEXXPERIMENT. Okay, so I'd normally do keto, or at least just a low carb kind of diet, mainly because I want to lose weight slowly, but also because I have various intolerances to lots of things like gluten, wheat, yeast, etc., cow's milk in liquid form, which kind of for me makes doing a ketogenic diet a lot easier because I can't eat things like bread and pasta anyway, not like I really did. So yeah, I've been doing it a sort of like a dirty keto, so like a cheating keto, being a bit naughty sometimes, for 18 months, something like that now. And I think in total I've lost about 3 or 4 stone. I didn't really weigh myself at the beginning to know that. I'll put my stats in at some point, maybe after this little clip, because I've got a set of weighing scales which you can link to an app on your phone, and it works out like your BMI, your fat content, water and stuff like that. So I'll put in those stats, which, you know, forgive me. So we'll see if we lose any weight like during this experiment. I hope so, because I would like to get down to like into the healthy weight category. That would be quite nice. Over this previous weekend I have made myself get out of ketosis. Now you will want to Google what ketosis means. I'm obviously not a medical expert, even though I am Professor Lex Fantastic, you know, not yet a doctor. So go and Google these things yourself and do research and stuff. Don't take my word for anything, okay? Ever. But I wanted to get myself out of ketosis so I could get myself back into ketosis to show you guys kind of like the process of what I do to do it. Because I am normally in a mild state of ketosis anyway, it shouldn't take me too long to get back into that state. So I've been eating carbs over the weekend, and 2 days of eating carbs, I instantly noticed an increase of appetite, which is not good. Like, as in, like, you just can't stop eating, you're just like hungry all the time, and that's so bad. And then also a headache this morning and felt lethargic. So that's what carbs do to me. I don't know what they do to you. And so I couldn't wait to start, like, again. So what I tend to do to get into ketosis reasonably quickly is I do a fast. So I haven't eaten since about 8 o'clock last night. And I normally don't have breakfast anyway. I normally just have coffee with almond milk in it, which is what I've had this morning. So, and I have such a small amount really that it doesn't actually break your fast. And then I normally eat at around 12 o'clock, but I'm going to delay eating today until hopefully, we'll see how long we can last, but until hopefully like tea time tonight. So that's when I'll break my fast properly, and then I will eat a ketogenic friendly food. So it'll probably be chicken, because we've got chicken left over from yesterday, with some veg, and then high fat content something. So I'll probably have lots of mayonnaise and cheese on it as well. Full fat everything, okay? So I also will be tracking my foods on the MyFitnessPal app. Kelly mentioned one in her live this morning which she uses, which I think she said was called NutriCheck. So I haven't seen that one, but I've already got lots of things stored on the MyFitnessPal app, so I'm not really up for change, you know. So I'm going to be doing that. So I'll be tracking my macros. I'm aiming for 1,500 calories a day. Calories are not hugely important. It's more like your fat and protein and carbohydrate ratios. But I obviously don't want to be eating like 3,000 calories a day, you know, just like a massive block of cheese and stuff, because that is equally just not as good and not as helpful. So although I'm putting in the calories, I'm not really keeping too much of an eye on that one. It's more my ratios. So my ratios would be 5% protein, 5% carbohydrate, 25% protein, and 70% fat. And that sounds like a lot of fat, and it is, and sometimes it's quite difficult to get that fat ratio up. It's more easy to eat lots of protein than it is to, and obviously carbohydrates, than to get that fat content like quite high. I know it's going to seem quite bizarre to a lot of people to think like, well, how can eating 70% fat help you lose weight? But trust me, it does. Go and Google it, go and have a look yourself. Okay. Right, so the first thing to be done, or the first thing that I tend to do other than my fast, is to check whether or not I'm in ketosis. So I use these Ketostix. So these measure the amount of ketones that are in your urine. So they look like that. They look like pound shop pregnancy tests. Don't ever use them, they're rubbish. And it's got a little strip on the end, and you wee onto that little bit. And then it's got a little colour chart. Now what you ideally want is to be around there-ish, because that means that you're burning your own fat for energy rather than your glucose that you've stored, or glycogen, sorry, that you've stored in your system from absorbing carbohydrates and using carbs. Basically, when you've reached that point, it means that you have switched from your carbohydrate-based diet and all of the glycogen that you've stored to using your own body fat for energy. So it's burning your body fat, and then ketones are what is produced from burning that fat. So the more amount of ketones in there means that you are burning fat, but you don't want to get up to there, because that also means that you're probably burning too much. You might be losing muscle mass at that point and be really dehydrated. So you want to stay around that level. But again, not me. Go check out something else. So I've done that this morning, and I am on that end of the scale, which means right now I am not in ketosis. But I will check that again later in the week. Got Shizima next to me, isn't she the cutest? She's not on camera right now. But I have got downstairs a little bit of mail to show you, which came this morning. So I'll show you that. Well, I've just come downstairs and I found I've got some friend mail, and I recognise the address. It's to Professor LEXXPERIMENT, a little friend mail. What a lovely envelope that is as well. I think I know who it's from, because I'm pretty sure I recognise the address. That's lovely. A wee something for you, Lex, because everybody needs a now. You've done brilliant, and even there are no spend targets, so here's a treat for you. Love, Heather. Much excited. Always need a now. Okay, there's 2 bits in there. Much excited. I need scissors to get into it. Very well wrapped, fair play. Heather's a good reseller, she knows how to package, that's for sure. Very well packaged, actually. Very, very well packaged. Attack! This is what I'm like at Christmas, I'm like, let me get in! None of this like saving the paper and folding it up nicely or anything. I'm like, let me in, let me in. Oh, what is this? Oh my word, is it green? It's green. Beautiful. Oh my word, look at that. That's gorgeous. And it's think... Oh my god, Heather, thank you. Let me get in. I want to see. They say polystyrene and everything. Oh, there's 2 of them. Gorgeous. Oh, so we've got cup and saucer. And the side plates, we've got a little trio. Oh, they're beautiful. Right, so I'll show you this. I'm thinking that this is this anyway. Yes, it is. Oh, look at that. That is stunning. That is so cool. Thank you so much, Heather. That's amazing. Oh, I absolutely love it. Right, this is the other bit of mail I've got. So this is from Country Snacks. Now when I did my live the other day, for the end of my first experiment, like the no spending one, Antoinette Daly kindly super chatted me at £10. So I used that £10 to buy, and she said, buy some snacks, some keto snacks. So I did. So I've got a big box of my favourite salt and vinegar pork crunch. Oh. So these are $9.99 and you get 8 bags delivered. So that's dead good. And they are lovely. So if you're doing keto, these are perfect because they are obviously high in protein, low in carbohydrates and high in fat. And they are lovely with some chili sauce, like some Frank's Red Hot sauce, and some cheese melted over the top, or it was like a low carb, like in place of Doritos and nacho chips, with some sour cream, some guacamole. Oh my god, so good. Highly recommend. I'll try and remember to link below. If not, you can just search for them on eBay anyway. But yeah. So thanks, Antoinette. That's what you bought for me. Thank you. Right, it's 6:15 and I'm just prepping my first meal of the day in the oven. I've got some chicken thighs from yesterday, so they've been marinated in just plain yogurt and tandoori spices. There's some chopped up cherry tomatoes, and they've just got a bit of fry light and some salt and pepper on them, so they're nearly done. And then I'm just doing, they're not for me, they're for Mum. I'm just doing some green beans, and that's going to be fried in butter. That's 20 grams of butter in there. And then to that I'm going to add some Cajun seasoning, because I do like things to have a little bit of heat to them. And then I'll probably serve that up with some mayonnaise, and I'll show you in a bit. Oh, and some kale. I've got some kale going. Right, so there you go. There's my dinner. So I've got 2 chicken thighs, and they weigh 225 grams altogether, so I'll weigh the bones when they're done and take that off to work out how much chicken I've actually eaten. Just 3 cherry tomatoes, 75 grams of green beans cooked in butter, about 10 grams of butter, 30 grams of mayo, 40 grams of kale, and I will give you my macros in a bit. So dinner was lush. Here's the breakdown if you're interested. So the beans had 3 grams of carbs, 3 tomatoes had 2 grams of carbs, butter no carbs, chicken no carbs, mayo 0.4 grams of carbs, and the kale had 0.4 grams of carbs. So in total around about 6 grams of carbs and 495 calories. I've checked my macros and I'm only on about 60% fat for the day, so anything I eat after this I'm going to try and have like either some cheese or some cream, or I've got some soft cream, cream cheese, that I can mix with some sweetener and some flavourings, and that makes quite a nice dessert. Hello Azumi, you want to be in the video? Come on then. Come on then. You're being silly cat. Yeah, so I'll show you if I have any snacks in a bit. Meanwhile, I'm going to enjoy the evening sunshine and my 6th glass of water, well, squash, sugar-free, obviously. So another thing I'm going to do as well as like weighing myself, scales are down there. I think sometimes it's a little bit nicer, more motivational to have like a bit of clothing that you want to get into. So obviously there's, the gorgeous dress, which will be a little while before I get into that one. But for me, this right now, this is a pair of trousers that I want to get into. So these are a size 14 monsoon, and they are 100% pure wool. Well, 99% wool. Gorgeous pair of trousers. See, it's like a tweed. There's a fine herringbone tweed in there, like grey and green. And they're a wide leg. So this is the kind of pant that I like. So I will show you how they look now, and hopefully at the end of the month they might look a bit different. Wait there. Right, so for hormonal girly type reasons, I am a little bit bloated at the moment anyway, and obviously because of a weekend of carbs. So these don't quite go up, as you can see. There's a few inches. I mean, I can probably hike it up and do it up around my actual waist, but that'll give me terrible camel toe, and that's just not attractive. So ideally they kind of sit on the hips, and I've got a good 3 inches before they actually fit. But they are like super cool. Can I show you without knocking over my lights? Anyways, they would be super cool if they fit properly, but you know, belly. Anyway, hopefully these will fit by the end of the month. That would be quite cool. I'll quickly show you my dessert. In here, I've mixed together some aerosol cream, 35 grams of aerosol cream with 25 grams of Philadelphia cream cheese, some powdered erythritol. This is the best kind of sweetener you can get, like this or stevia, but powdered erythritol is good because it does not impact your blood sugar levels. So if you're diabetic, this is good. And it has 0 carbs, 0 fat, 0 calories, 0 fiber, 0 protein, etc., etc. But it's good, it's sweet stuff, anyway, and you don't need a lot of it. And some scillion lemon flavouring. I've also put in 10 grams of blueberries, which is 1.6 grams of carbs, and then some of this keto granola. So this is a mixture of almonds, coconut, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, hazelnuts, and erythritol. And then this one has got cocoa powder in it as well. So I've made almost like a reverse cheesecake. I'm pretending. So we'll just give that a little try. Damn, that is tasty. Mm. Mm. So good evening. It's now gone 9 o'clock, I think. It's still lovely outside in the garden. But so day 1 done of food. So you'll see my macros after this. I nearly managed 70% fat, but not quite. But that'll do for me. Tomorrow I'll probably go back to eating as normal on keto. So again, I'll probably have no breakfast because I don't, but I tend to do like intermittent fasting, so I'll eat between the hours of like 12 and about 9 o'clock-ish. So I'll still have 3 meals, but it'll be like lunchtime, dinner time, and then a snack later on in the evening, like a decent snack, and maybe something else as well. Anyways, that's it for day 1. If you do want to look up things, at some point I'll put some links to some channels that I watch that are good for recipes and stuff. And yeah, that's it for tonight. Bye bye now, bye bye.